Hello everybody, John Cornelius here again. This is my International Harvester 424 tractor. It's a 4-cylinder diesel tractor. I'm doing upgrades on it. This tractor's actually been in our family for a long time. My grandpa owned this tractor, and I learned how to drive on it. Anyways, since I've had it for about 6 or 7 years, it never had a auxiliary on it, and the battery kept going dead, of course. And so I went to my local alternator rebuild shop and bought this here alternator. It had a bracket on here. The bracket I had to modify a little bit. It's like a metal sleeve here that the bolt goes through and then comes all the way through here. The hole inside of the alternator was a little bigger than the hole inside of this metal sleeve, so I actually had to wrap it with some aluminum tape and then secure it that way. And then down here, the original mounting bracket wasn't long enough, so I had to extend it out, so I welded this little piece in here, and then you can see down here this groove so you can tighten it up to get the belt tight. I think I used a 30-inch belt on it, and I just put it back on the old pulley. There was a pulley there for it, and then I've changed the oil in it, put SAE 30 oil in it, changed the oil in the air filter. You can see right here there's a screw. You unscrew, this bottom pan comes out, and then there's like some sort of mesh media in here that filters the air, and then below it catches the dirt in the oil. And so I took it out just full of dirt in the bottom and oil mixed in a settlement, and I had to scrape that out, clean that pot out, fill it back up to the oil line, and then I took the media, kept running gasoline through it till it come pretty clean, and then I put it all back together. So I think that'll do it. The oil filter here, once you took it out, it has a Napa number on it, and I used that Napa number to go buy the local Napa dealership and buy the oil filter for it. I don't think I'm going to replace the fuel filter right here this time. Let me see here if I throw away the box. Yeah, it's too late on the box on the oil filter. What else is going on here? So from using it really hard down on the 50 acres, I've kind of beat up the fenders a little bit, so I've got this fender off. That's the fender that the battery mounts into. Here's what it looks like. See how it's rusted out down here? It's kind of corroded. I think most of that's from the battery acid eating through the fender. I'm going to refabricate all the bad metal, reinforce it, paint it, and then I'll put it back on. See, this one here is a little dented right in here. I'll probably take that one off and paint it and just straighten out that metal a little bit. So there's only 2 big bolts over the axles on both sides of these fenders, and 1 bolt right here that actually secures the whole fender. And they're pretty strong. I've sat on them as a kid and rolled around. And then my other thing is the push button start on this tractor is right here. You used to be able to push it until it starts and then let off. The push button starts went out, and then this here is the kill switch, and it's kind of broken or something, so I got to figure out how to get that fixed. And then after that, the hydraulics here, the little speed control, I've got it, but it never did work. But this thing's losing prime, and the hydraulics from the hydraulic pump right here pumps it in, you know, and everything. But I'm losing prime, so it's sucking air somewhere. So right here, where I took the rubber thing off. I think those are rubber pieces of rubber hydraulic hose used for vibration isolation. But anyways, I'm going to replace those and hope that that's why I'm getting suction or losing pressure. And then I may also take and put a valve in here so I can open it to prime it again if it loses prime, and then have a hose that runs back over and goes into this reservoir here to not lose the hydraulic fluid when I try to prime it. Because usually when I did loosen that screw up, I'd run it and prime it, and when it starts squirting out fast, I'd screw that bolt in real tight over here right here, and then cut it off. And it works, but it's not really that effective because you lose a lot of hydraulic oil, and it's expensive to pour that stuff out on the ground just to try to get your arms to raise back here to put your tractor implements on. And of course, this is the original seat, as you can see. I think I'm just going to go ahead and replace that, put a better seat on. So one more thing, I'm not sure why, but here where you put the oil in, when it's running, it has a lot of air blowing out of here. And it seems like more than average, I don't know, and it gets on my hood here. You can see over here on my hood that I got taken off. The oil right here around the hole, and it kind of runs down my hood, which I don't really like. I don't know why that is, but I'd like to figure that out. Somebody want to make a comment about why that oil's blowing out of there. Of course, this is a diesel. It does not have hydraulic steering or power steering. It's got this oil. This is the fuel pump. It kind of pumps the diesel fuel around in there. I think it's got a different name, but I couldn't tell you what it was. But so that's what I got going on. I'll let you see how this fender looks when I get done. Sure look a lot better. Talk to y'all later, bye.